That's history.
And it could have been history had it not been for a clairvoyant.
So apparently, Cheryl went to a clairvoyant and was told by the clairvoyant that, I know you've been looking at a footballer and admiring him. You should go for it. In fact, you should marry him. Which is kind of far out, right? Because how do they know? But, you know, they do have wisdom or, you know, inner wisdom, inner power.
Crazy. A pop star and a footballer? Who would have thought it? Well worth the 40 quid. An intimate documentary proved that even for the highest profile of couples, life's messier realities had to be dealt with.
Are you going to poop scoop?
No. I'm not pooper scooping anything, mate. You pooper scoop it.
Ah, sweet. Love blossomed, and it was a PR dream when in July 2006, Ashley whisked 23-year-old Cheryl off to get married. They had 150 guests, Prince Edward's caterers, and £1 million deal with OK magazine.
I mean, it was hysterical. You know, we were all hunting for Wedding of the Year.
We at Heat were completely shut out. We had no way of getting access or any information, even.
Cheryl and Ashley Cole's wedding was just so OTT, but I thought it looked wonderful. I thought she looked so beautiful, and they looked so happy.
I mean, to be honest, you know, the whole footballer's wife thing, and I don't get it.
I mean, everyone wanted to read about them and see what she was wearing, what she looked like, and what friends were there, what footballers were there.
They put, if you like, the normal people at the front of the church, and the more famous people, the footballer players who were there, things like this, towards the back of the church.
Wearing a Roberto Cavalli dress costing £110,000, Cheryl looked like a princess.
The dress, loved it.
It wasn't over the top, it didn't ooze money or anything like that. It looked just a beautiful dress, you know, on a beautiful young lady on her proudest day of her life.
You've got a footballer and you've got a girl from a girl band. You know, really, it could be Posh and Beck's Mark II.
The wedding was over the top. They got paid a ridiculous amount for it. But it was kind of the big goodbye, I'm on the A-list now, won't be doing this again.
Cheryl had hit the jackpot and again nearly blew it, this time on the lottery.
They ended up doing this terrible promotion for the National Lottery where they both dressed up in, I think, these white outfits. This huge car. I mean, it was like the worst outfits you've ever seen. Him with his shirt undone, literally, to kind of belly button level.
He even had his really campily his fingers crossed, you know, for the lotto. It was a joke.
I thought it was an ad for a really bad B-type sex movie.
You kind of had respect for Posh and Becks then, because you're like, there's no way that they'd ever do anything that tacky. And they've done a lot of tacky things.
They're not that short of money. I mean, she's a Girls Aloud, and he's obviously getting paid, what, 50 grand a week for football. Is it really worth looking like a bit of a dildo?
So our princess had gone from a council estate in Newcastle to floating on a dream cloud with a footballer and a car. The lottery photos were bad, but things were about to get worse. A lot worse, actually.
There was a national outpouring of sympathy for this girl.
By 2006, and just 23 years old, Cheryl Cole was part of Britain's top-selling girl band and living a wonderful celebrity, rags-to-riches, Cinderella story, guilty of assault, marry a footballer kind of dream. She and Ashley had it all.
Cheryl is this beautiful girl in one of the most successful girl band groups ever, and there's Ashley Cole, good-looking lad, and it just seemed an ideal couple.
The synergy, the energy created, the paparazzi, they're coming out of the clubs. People went wild for them, they thought it was great.
But being married to a footballer, Cheryl had found out that there were 22 in this relationship when England went off to Germany for the World Cup.
1, 2, 3.
Come on, England!
They were a shoo-in for victory, and a knighthood would surely follow. Cheryl accompanied the future Sir Ashley as the England team and their wags invaded Baden-Baden. A place so good they named it twice.
I've never seen anything like it. The girls, you know, actually did go out there to support their husbands and partners, but it turned into a circus.
Where once it was English hooligans who caused havoc abroad, now it was footballers' wives.
Their purchasing power is legendary, and one shocked German tabloid reported they spent £55,000 in an hour on high fashion.
We have still some beautiful stuff they can buy, so they can stay till the final for us.
The shopkeepers had to order in extra stock for them, and they've given this genteel spa town a touch of A-list glamour.
Well, except for the Scouse ones, obviously.
Are you going out today to do any shopping?
No, McDonald's again.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
Queen of the Wags was, of course, Posh, and guess who she chose as her lady-in-waiting?
You've got kind of Posh there with constantly pouting and talking about David. And she looked at Cheryl and thought, why not? Fellow singer, she's got talent. And she kind of took her under withered wing.
I take you as one of my own.
You'd see Colleen and the crew going out in skirts up to here and tops down to here, going for a night partying. But Cheryl wasn't doing that. Cheryl was knocking about in combat trousers and a baseball cap and trying to keep it kind of low-key. And she'd go out every now and again with Victoria Beckham for a quiet dinner somewhere. But she really wasn't putting it about. And that's when I started to look at her and think, yeah, you're quite a cool chick.
Maybe all was not what it seemed. Who was the real queen in Germany?
Maybe nobody really liked Posh and Cheryl felt sorry for her. Maybe Cheryl was doing Posh a favour sitting having dinner with her.
The reason that Posh isn't liked and Cheryl is adored is that Posh is manufactured. You know, we know that she's not real. Cheryl, on the other hand, she really doesn't give a stuff. You know, she says what she thinks, and if it's bad, she says it. If it's good, she says it.
As Cheryl and Posh enjoyed a couple of slap-up salads, the rest of the Wags went on a reported 2 grand drinking bender. And while they had no problems putting away their shots, the England team, as usual, did, and lost on penalties.
Do you know what? I'm absolutely honest. I don't even know the England score. I could tell you what Cheryl was wearing, though.
Thanks to the failure of the team and the antics of some of the Wags, they were now held in only slightly higher regard than burglars on house arrest. Cheryl had to lose her Wag tag.
One of the most important things that Cheryl did was she did distance herself from the Wag. She pushed herself away. She doesn't want to be Colleen. She doesn't want to be Alex Curran. She doesn't want to be any of those people.
So Cheryl slammed the Wag lifestyle.
She said Wags were worse than benefit scroungers, benefit sheets, because she said, you know, they have nannies, they swan around all day, they don't do any work at all, buy whatever jewellery they like. And she said, what kind of example is that? What kind of aspiration is that for young women to have? Because she realises that that's what a lot of young girls want to do.
At the end of the day, she's an established pop star, you know, in her own right. She doesn't really need Ashley. She's just putting a divider down it, letting people know that she's not a scrounger.
By the autumn of 2006, scrounging was the last thing on Mr. and Mrs. Cole's minds. She'd just released a greatest hits album, and he had got a big money move to Chelsea. Things were going really well until he decided to bring out a book.
Well, I think Ashley Cole has got a bad reputation amongst football fans purely because of what he said in his autobiography.
It grabbed the headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. He revealed how he'd had to scrimp by on a measly salary of £1.3 million a year at former club Arsenal.
There's that great story about how he was driving down the road whilst the contract negotiations with Arsenal were going on. He got a call from his agent.
Ashley wanted £60,000 a week from his club Arsenal, but they only wanted to give him 55. Tight bastards.
And he was so shocked that he swerved off the road.
They're taking the piss.
Is that all I'm worth, he's saying?
What do they take me for?
And you're sitting there thinking, I spent 400 quid on my season ticket, you goober.
This is a real own goal for him. You know, to have said something like that is something that people will remember and will talk about. And of course, immediately, you know, gets people's backs up, and you can understand it.
He was unfortunate to have a name like Ashley because it went so well with the nickname Cashley, and that stuck, and it's still stuck now.
He comes across as arrogant, and he comes across as a little bit full of himself, and that's the total opposite to Cheryl.
I think I've done my time at Arsenal. Whatever happened. That's over now. I'm not looking back at that.
But the Arsenal fans were.
Ashley Cole was a greedy bastard.
I think Ashley Cole is a cheating scumbag.